What's up? What's up? It's your boy Sean P back again with another edition of Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews. This is actually our second show of the year, the new year. This is our first, I guess, roundtable discussion.
Yeah,
I welcome my man Anson back from BLG, aka Bootleg Gang. What's good? What's good, man? Happy New Year.
yeah, man. Happy New Year to you too. Shout out to Reese. Hope you get better, man.
No doubt, no doubt, man, no doubt. Reese is taking care of some things, gotten a little fender bender tonight, but or actually yesterday he got a little fender bender. But he's taking care of that. He'll join us next week for our upcoming shows when we pod next week. Anyway,
hmm
like I promised y'all, we're going to finally get to our end of the year 2025 wrap up. I know I've been foreshadowing this podcast for a while and promoting it. So definitely, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go through our lists of our best albums and artists. We're also going to talk about, who was our biggest disappointment or what album was our biggest disappointment in 2025. And then we're going to look forward to 2026. Who do we look forward to seeing? And we're going to bring up a couple of other artists of note who could be making more noise in 2026. So, Ansem, real quick, what was your take on 2025 overall in hip hop? Let's just get that started so we get the discussion started about our overall feelings about 2025.
To me, 2025 is a continuation of 2024. In my opinion, these past 2 years have been the best years of hip hop, at the least, since Griselda became popular in the mid to late 2010s.
Okay.
Me personally, I'm not a big fan of the first half of the 2010s. The second half of the 2010s, Griselda started blowing up. The baby started blowing up before he got stuck in a space. Um, Actually, the 2010s, I was more of a fan of battle rap than rap music. So
I hear
the
you.
second half of the 2010s, I started, appreciating hip hop a little more. But the 2020s, I'm enjoying hip hop right now. Even though you always gonna have the whack shit, but I like, especially in these social media spaces, it seems like the mainstream and the underground is so combined. You don't necessarily have to be forced to hear one thing. You can search for anything you want. Even
True.
though I'm BLG bootleg game, I've been bootlegging since 2000. But as far as 2025, to me, it's a continuation of 2024. My only thing about 2025 is that my favorite rap album of 2024 is Common and Pete Rock, The Auditorium
Got
Volume 1. I have
you.
not heard an album this year better than that. However, a lot of good stuff came out of 2025. Even music we're not even going to mention today, like Billy Woods, for example. I just learned about him when I actually was
Yeah.
listening to his group album with the Alchemists, and I find that to be a very interesting album. Of course, you know what I'm saying. You got Ransom and Currency, always going to be in the hip hop realm, putting out dope stuff.
Yeah.
Max B is home. I know we're getting mixed reviews about Max B lately, but for him to put out music this fast, I'm actually enjoying
True.
that. Of course, we've seen the aftermath of Drake versus Kendrick Lamar, where you have particular fans saying that hip hop is not a great year because Drake is not having a great year. But that doesn't mean everyone else in hip hop isn't.
That's true. That's absolutely true. That's a great I guess opening statement about 2025. And I agree with most of you on that. I think 2025 might not have the year of song albums that are going to be, mentioned, in classic status. But it was a very deep and solid year album wise, and I think a lot of artists did well, especially in the I would say the non mainstream, mid mainstream artists, legacy artists. I think the mainstream had a very down year. And I think it is kind of a reset point after the Kendrick Lamar and Drake battle, because I
Mhm.
think now um, the record labels and really audiences, they don't really know where to go. You know what I mean? Because I think the old traditional, I guess, trap turn up sound, in my opinion, is kind of dead as far as being the mainstream flagship of the main subgenre of hip hop. So I think we're at a reset point in hip hop. And I think that gave 2025 a lot of legacy artists and underground artists a chance to shine, which was very refreshing. So I thought it was a very refreshing year overall.
Now, one thing I will say about the trap era, me personally, I saw it coming because I mentioned this on one of our
Oh yeah,
last episodes that
yeah,
a lot of people focus on glorifying the good sides of the trap era, but don't forget it's called the trap for a reason. There's always going to be a negative side. And right now,
that's right.
trap is experiencing that negative side right now, and a lot of people are complaining. So to them, they're thinking if trap music is not doing well, hip hop is not doing well because trap is the leading sound of the mainstream.
Mhm.
However, one thing I'm liking about this year is that the retro sounds are coming back. And one thing that I think started showing us that was the No Limit versus Cash Money versus. A lot of people thought Cash Money was going to win anyway, the 99 to 2000, but I think people are forgetting No Limit is from the 90s.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, early Cash Money before Highs in the 90s too, but the majority of No Limit is from the 90s. They still
Yeah,
from that golden era. So it's not just the
absolutely.
mass appeal. It's people are now listening. I noticed there was a time where a short period of time where people was just like, wow, we didn't listen to this. We didn't realize No Limit actually aged well. We were so focused on Cash Money, Young Money. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I will tell you this. As long as TikTok exists, the trap sound will never leave. You're always going to have females twerking to anything trap related,
That's true.
especially when we're in the era of female rappers right now. But the female rapper wave isn't as strong as the non-mainstream waves. And I say waves because it's not just one.
That's true. That's true. That's true. So anyway, let's get to the list. Let's start with our albums for
Okay.
2025. So we're gonna start with our top 5 albums of this year. And the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna go with our honorable mentions first,
Okay.
which you could give since you did 5, I did 3, but I could actually stretch it out to 5.
Okay.
And you give your list first, and then you could tell me your thoughts on that, and then I'll give my list of honorable mentions to get that out the way.
I really have a top 10 list, but my 6 through 10 will be the honorable mentions.
I
Number
bet.
10, it's not just one project.
Hmm.
And to me, this is the best female rapper out right now that a lot of women are sleeping on because she's not a trap rapper. She's not a
True.
rapper that'll make you dance. She's not even a super deep rapper. She just spits that raw, pure hip hop music. And that's Shay
Yeah.
Noir. And I apologize, Queen. I used to call you Shay Noir for the
Hmm.
longest. But yeah, Shay Noir. Now, she actually put out 4 projects this year. She put out Seeds in Babylon.
Hmm.
She put out The Colored Chocolate 2, and she put out Desire Crowns, which is the joint album with 7XV the Genius. But my favorite project that she put out this year is actually my number 10, Chez Noir and the other guys. For those who don't know, the other guys did a project
Hmm.
with Sky Zoo like a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's called No Validation. Even though it's only 8 tracks, but most of Shea Noir projects are between 5 to 10 songs because she's trying to be the queen of EPs and short albums. But to me, this is her best project. Even though
Hmm.
it's heavy feature, I like the other guys on this project because they did bring back certain samples that we've heard before, but she brought her own twist to it. One of the examples is, to me, one of my favorite beats of this year, Sugar Water, where she had the video using the 360 camera um out in the winter, or out in the snow, that is. But yeah, Sugar Water is one of my favorite joints this year. She had a joint called Smooth Jazz, where she went toe to toe with 38 Special. She also
Okay.
got a joint, I can't pronounce it, Katastwof, where she did a song with Ransom and Sky Zoo. She also brought back Vaughn P from Tanya Morgan on the project. She got a joint called Dollar Tree. Like, to me, this is my favorite EP of the year. And
All
those are
right.
a good amount of EPs that came out this year, but this is my favorite EP, no validation.
No
So I
doubt.
got that at number 10. Number 9 should be higher, but I'm in the South. I listen to everything. With that being said, De La Soul is putting out better music than new niggas. And one of
Mm-hmm.
them passed away. Rest in peace, Dave. Trugoy. Man, Cabin in the Sky may have the best DJ Premier production we've heard this year, with Sunny Storms and the joint with Black Thought.
Yeah.
I think NF. But Super Dave West, to me, is the MVP of the project, because he showed people that he still has that production. Pete Rock is on the album too.
Yeah.
There was a song called Quick 16 from Mama featuring Killer Mike. That joint bump. Of course, the first song that most people heard from the De La Soul project was Run It Back with Nas.
Nice. Yep.
Um they also have my favorite song on, well, one of my favorite songs off that album is the song with Common and Slick Rick called Yours. And the last song was Dave's own song called Don't Push Me, where he went on orthodox on that song. I like that joint. Number 8, I have to go to the underground for this. Like, this is the type of music you might have to find on Bandcamp. I don't even know if
Yeah.
it's on streaming. But Black Milk, which in my opinion is the one of the most underrated producers in hip hop in the 2010s, but he's
Yeah.
not as known because he hasn't done a lot of projects with a lot of people like other producers are. He sticks to doing his own projects for the majority of the time. But he got this project called with Fat Ray called Food from the Gods. Another one of the hardest beats this year is Elderberry,
Mm-hmm.
one of the best Black Mill beats I've heard in a long time. This was the song that made me go back and listen to some of Black Mill's other projects within the past few years. He got a joint called Kane with Guilty Simpson. Stash might be my favorite song on that project. But yeah, that's an 11th song joint. But this is like the hard Black Milk, not the keyboard experimental Black Milk. Like, this is sample heavy Black Milk.
Okay.
So if you're a fan of Black Milk from the like popular demand era, you're definitely gonna like this project.
All right.
Number 7, to me, may be my favorite, and I hate to say it like this, modern day sound album, Saba and No ID, from the private collection of Saba and No ID, where to me, No ID actually went into Saba's world. Because for those who don't know, Saba, you could say he's a combination of Kanye, Chance the Rapper,
He's
and
from
a little bit
Chicago,
of
right?
G Herbo, yeah. And a little bit
Okay.
of
Yeah, I
G
can
Herbo,
tell.
all wrapped up into one like conscious rapper.
Yeah.
But the production that New ID brought here definitely fits his style. He got
That's one of the greatest producers of all time. No idea.
exactly. He got a song called Woes of the World. That song hit. Westbound Part 4, Acts 1.5, Big Picture, Hard to Impress God, one of my favorite joints on that project as well.
Mm.
Like, yeah, like to me, this is a better No ID than Jay-Z 444.
Okay.
Um, and of course, because No ID put on Kanye, you always gonna have a little bit of that Kanye feel throughout the album. But I
Yeah.
like how No ID stepped into Saba's world instead of
Mm.
Saba stepping into No ID's world on this project. But it still has that modern Chicago style. Number 6, Now you may have this in my top 5, but I got this as number 6, and I know we're going to discuss this album later. Alfredo 2, Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist.
Okay.
I mean, what can we say about that album? It's like anything Freddie Gibbs put out, regardless of his controversy, the music is going to hit hard. Of course, we wish the music hits a lot louder than the controversy. You know, you got them kids are saying, I don't listen to Freddie Gibbs, but nigga, Freddie Gibbs went the fuck in on this project. It ain't better than Alfredo 2, but Sangria, that song hit hard. One of my favorite beats of this year as well. Of course, I think it was, what's the name of the first song? 1999?
1995.
1995. Yeah. I got that wrong. Yeah. 1995. I do have the playlist here somewhere. I'm trying to go up the top. But yeah, we got to talk about that album because, of course, you know, Alchemist going to bring Alchemist, Mar-a-Lago, Lemon Pepper Steppers. Like, even though Skinny Suge 2 ain't better than Skinny Suge 1, that's still hit. And it's funny because I seen Freddie Gibbs perform that song in like some type of Halloween outfit. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I did see that.
But I got that as my 6 through 10. Just to recap again, number 6, Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist. Number 7, Saba and No ID. Number 8, Black Milk and Fat Ray. Number 9, De La Soul. Number 10, Chez Noir and the Other Guys. Or you can replace it with any other Chez Noir project that came out this year.
True. Strong list, man. That's a strong list. So that's your honorable mentions, 6 through 10. I agree with a lot of those. A lot of those albums, I definitely know Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist, you could argue is top 5. A lot of people had him in the top 5. I'll get to my list later. But with my honorable mentions, or if you want to go 6 through 10, I'm actually going to go from the bottom, 10 through 6. But I'll just do my honorable mention list as a list of 5. And listen, I could have gone so many different ways. I really could have gone about 20 deep as far as a list of albums this year, maybe even 25 deep.
Yeah.
So it was kind of hard to get everything on one, get everything on one list, So the honorable mentions, I would say, are, to me, the albums that were dope projects, but I'm probably not going to listen to going forward past this year, but I'm still going to bump some songs on there. It's still dope listens, you know what I mean? So I'm going to start with, and I'm going back and forth between this and I'm going back and forth between this and De La Soul, the Cabin in the Sky album you brought up.
Okay.
But it kind of surprised me. And when you catch me by surprise like this, I kind of give you more points. So I got to go with Big Crit, dedicated to Cataly Baritz. I got to say it right.
I still got to hear that album.
Oh, my God.
That album, man.
Big Crit
too, man.
Yeah, Big Crit went back to his old bag, man. We're talking vintage Big Crit from 2011 to 2015. And I just love the vibe of this album. The vibe of this album makes you feel in Mississippi, Louisiana. You know what I mean? Like, it gives you that vibe. I think this is classic Big Crit. It went back to what he really does well. You know what I mean? So I like that. My next
what's your favorite song on that album, by the way?
I gotta say, there's so many on them. Hold on, I gotta bring up the track list real quick.
Yeah. So this sounds like he's on his forever.
I gotta say, gotta do it. Gotta do it with probably my favorite song, but there's so much like dope vibes on here, like High Def, The Mileage on here. Not in the Whip is like a street banger, not a street banger, but like something you could bang in the whip. Like I-20 is a smooth joint. It's just, he just gives you that classic down south southern style, man. That southern vibe that really embodies the South. So I really like that. A little bit low, but and I was debating it making my honorable mention list, but I finally got up to Nas and DJ Premier Light Years.
Okay.
Heavily debated album because of the production by DJ Premier or lack thereof. So
Hmm.
um I was a little bit underwhelmed. I'm just going to put it out there. This should easily be a top 5 album to me. It just fell short. Some of the songs just didn't hit like that, and I really gave it a long time. But some of the other songs grew on me, as Nas albums usually do. So it only made my honorable mention list this year.
Okay.
So Nas and DJ Premier is my other honorable mention. Then I gotta go to another artist that kind of didn't catch me by surprise. I know he's nice and I know he's good, but his last couple of projects kind of sounded kind of stale to me.
Okay.
But I gotta go with Conway the Machine Can't Kill God with Bullets.
That
That
album cool.
is vintage, hard, Griselda. And I do like the variation in production. He had Alchemist on there, he had
Mhm.
Justice League on there. I think he had
Conductor.
Conductor Williams on there, maybe Harry Fraud. Like I like the variation in production. It was more of a complete album. I'd almost say it's better. It's as good as what was that album he had?
From a king to
I
a
think
god.
in 2020. Something God to a King. The one
Yeah,
where he
from
had a
king to a god.
King to a God. Yeah, yeah. That was his best album, in my opinion. So this guy, I really like this. You know what he is? Conway to me is this era's version of Styles P. Like he's not gonna go too far outside of his comfort zone as far as
You're
street
right.
rap,
You're right.
but he's still gonna put out consistent, very good, hard music. So you're not gonna miss you're not gonna be let down by a Conway project, but you're not gonna be overly wild either. But if you want great or very good street hip hop, he's the guy to go to. So I go Conway Machine, Can't Kill God with Bullets. Then I'm gonna go with Ransom and Conductor Williams, The Uncomfortable Truth. Um, I think that album really showcased why, to me, Ransom is the best lyricist in the game right now. So I really like how, and I really like how Conductor fit his style. Like Conductor to me probably is in the running for producer of the year. Him and Alchemist were neck and neck. I would almost give maybe the edge to Conductor Williams. So I will go Ransom, Conductor Williams, and I got one more. Wale. Everything is a lot. Wale, I've never been a great fan of since like the early 2010s,
That
but
album actually has aged better because I've listened to it the other day. I liked it
yeah,
more on second and third listen. I'm not going to front. And I'm
yeah,
born in DC. I'm hit or miss when it comes to Wale. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I
me
don't think he
too,
has put out an
me
album
too.
better since I don't think he hasn't put out an album better than Ambition. Ambition was like early 2010s, late
Yeah,
2000s. But I like this album for sure.
definitely. So I got to go with Wale. Everything is a lot. I really like the vibe on there. He gives you a lot of variety on there, a lot of emo rap. You know what I mean? Where he really pours his heart out on wax. And at the same time, there are a lot of good feeling records, up tempo records, and records you could vibe to. So I definitely like that. So I'm going with Big Crit, dedicated to Catalina Baritz, Nas and DJ Premier Light Years, Conway the Machine, Kill God with Bullets, Ransom and Conductor Williams, Uncomfortable Truth, and Wale, Everything is a Lot as my honorable mentions.
That's
So
what's up. And we gonna
let's
keep
get
Wale
to
in thought too, because I know you're gonna bring up a certain topic. So thank you for bringing up Wale. And I won't mention no other names. Let's get to the top five. My bad.
all right. So top 5 albums. What were your best albums of 2025? You can start.
Yeah. And everybody, me and Sean don't agree with everything. Because I'm gonna let y'all know right now, one of my honorable mentions is going to be in his top five,
Okay.
and his honorable mention is in my top five. Matter of fact, it's number five, and
Mm,
I should actually put it at number three, but I'm not going to hate it one and four. The reason why I say that is because 2024, I made a dedication to only buy one vinyl hip hop album a year. Because, like I said, I download, I don't stream unless it's YouTube, if you count that as streaming. But
mm.
I bought Common and Pete Rock this album this year, or should I say last year for Christmas that I'm going to get in February. I bought Nas and DJ Premier. I'm
All
going to
right.
tell you why. DJ Premier, I may have to put back at number one. I'm gonna tell you why all
Okay.
time. Because
Mm,
this DJ Premier, be prepared to hear more of this type of DJ Premier because he's I know it's starting to feel like people want 90s DJ Premier like people want Illmatic.
mm-hmm,
It's feeling like that right now.
mm-hmm.
And this is one of them albums going to age well. Even though I can kind of understand why you may not like certain songs,
Yeah.
but the more I listen to this album, especially lyrically, let's not forget this is Nas.
Yeah.
Nas don't have the best beat selection, but he may be the only rapper that outshined DJ Premier on an album. And you can talk about how much you're disappointed at the beats, but keep in mind, Nas is the beat picker. And he picked these beats
You
for a
did you
reason.
did say that on our review.
The
That's
minute
true.
I heard My Life is Real, I said this album is going to be different. I remember Maurice said, well, I wish Nas brought a little more to cutting the sample in the hook. I said, nah, he cut the sample the way he is. It's still
Hmm.
Premiere.
Yeah.
Premiere, you got basic Premiere. But
Yeah.
here, his to me, this is his impression of a Dr. Dre produced album because this is his cleanest production as far as sound quality because it's not vintage.
That is a
With the
good point.
exception of one
The sound
song,
quality.
you heard
Yeah.
static. And keep in mind, you could tell that is digital static.
Yeah.
Like hip hop producers, you know the difference between digital static and analog static. So that's
Yeah.
gonna be the closest you're gonna get to vintage Premiere. Like
Yeah.
he's becoming a new Premiere on this album for a reason. And some people are not liking it, but get ready to hear more of it. And it actually made me appreciate Rock Marciano's album because I didn't like the Rock Marciano album when I first heard it, but
Hmm.
because it wasn't vintage Premiere. But
Yeah.
Ransom gave you vintage Premiere. A cut above is the hardest DJ Premier beat this year. Let's get that. A cut above on the Ransom joint.
Yeah.
But on this album, My Life is Real is made like that for a reason. Get ready. The minute I heard 3 T freestyle on that beat, I said this album's going to age a whole lot better as years go on. People are going to like this album a lot more right now in the future, just like Nostradamus. Because not a lot of people are not.
Yeah.
You're not hearing a lot of people say Nostradamus is Nas' worst album no more.
Yeah. You could say that. You
Welcome
could
to the
say that.
Underground to me is one of
Mhm.
my favorite songs on this album because one, it don't sound like DJ Premier. Two, he's trying to do Dilla on this beat. I don't think a
Yeah.
lot of people
That
expected
beat.
that.
That beat kind of that was okay to me. It was a very polarizing album. That's all I
It
got to
definitely was
say.
polarizing.
It's
But the song
polarizing.
right after that was Madman. That gave you the old Premiere just on a
Yeah,
clear,
it's
more
very
clean sound.
polarizing, and like I had one of my buddies, one of my homies from way back. He lived way out in Seattle now.
Yeah.
He first texted me and he said, "Man, this album is terrible, man. How do you even listen to it?" And he was going off on it in comments. Basically, he's basically going off in Facebook Messenger, right? Then, like literally, like a week later, he's like, "I got a confession. I like the album." And I said, "Man, well, it's still growing
Engagement.
on me a little." He's like, "Nah, you got to listen again. You got to listen again."
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Nas does that to you, man.
Young Kings actually sound a little Pete Rockish
Yeah.
more than Primo.
To me, I could see it being kind of like the King's Disease one, um, where people thought it was a little bit
Yeah,
experimental. I would
you're
love to see
right.
them get back again and do something else, do another one, but I don't know. I think this is kind of it, but we'll see.
Shine Together. I want that instrumental, even though it's the same sample used on nigga shit from Big Pun. I still I
I
recognize
fuck with
how
that song.
Primo be cutting these
Yeah,
samples, bruh.
I
Even if
fuck with that
there's some of
song.
these sounds are from scratch, he'll still cut it with his Primo signature formula. He never changes the formula. He's just changing the sound quality.
Yeah, I fuck with that.
So with that said, Nas DJ Premier is the album that I bought last year. We'll see what album I buy in 2026. That's
Okay.
my number five.
Yeah.
Number four, a lot of people might disagree with me on this. My favorite Alchemist album is Life is Beautiful.
Okay.
Two Chains, Larry
Yeah.
June, and the Alchemist. To me,
Mhm.
this may be Two Chains' best rapping
Mhm.
outside of the album he did with that LeBron James executive produced.
Which
That
is a very underrated
Yeah,
rap.
that may still be his
Yeah.
best album, but lyrically, like he is not playing on these Alchemist beats. Now you can talk about, oh, he's not like all these other MCs. I'm like, nigga, he's borrowing on this album. He may
Two
not be borrowing
Chains.
the way you want, but he's from the South. He gonna give you that Southern flavor. But the hook
You
to
know what it is with Two
LC is
Chains?
hard as hell, bro.
If Two Chains is kind of like another artist that I'm gonna talk about in a little bit. Um, he's kind of like Dave East in a way, and where they're two rappers that are very good and very solid and great at what they do, but they kind of came out in the wrong eras. If they came out in the 2000s, they would be held in much higher regard than they
Well,
are.
keep in mind, Two
Yeah,
Chains was out in the 2000s. He was Titty Boy.
that's true. That's true. But if he was doing what he did in the 2010s and the now in the 2000s, I think he'd be held in much higher regard because the Atlanta, he's trap, but he's lyrical with it. And most of the trap heads or the people who really get into trap like that from Atlanta, they like simple shit. You know what I mean?
But
Future
guess
and
what
21
cloth where
Savage.
Two Chains? But guess what cloth Two Chains come from? The DTP, your
That's right.
Luda, your Field Mob. Let's not
Yeah,
like Field Mob be rapping.
true.
Yeah, nah, like he wasn't spitting like that back then, but he always had a good flow. He had a good ear for beat selections.
Oh,
But
yeah.
now, like he's going in. Like I really thought Larry June was going to be the highlight of this album. Nah, Two Chains is the highlight of this
Shine
album.
on that.
This is a Two Chains album on Alchemist Beats. I hope I hear a part two of this again. It might be better.
That's true.
Now, I will say Larry June on the feature on Alfredo, eh, like you shouldn't have been on that song. If Two Chains was on that song, though,
Yeah,
that would have been a crazier joint.
true.
Two Chains and Freddie. But yeah, like LLC is one of my favorite songs this year, even though the beat's so basic. It's just that Alchemist Florida. I got my car in the LLC. I got my pistol in my wifey's name. I got more blues than BB King. I told my son, you can be a king. Put your mind into it. You can do anything. And that's the hook.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that was a dope project, man. That would probably be in my honorable mention list, but it's so deep. You know what I mean? Like I said, that could go in the top 25 this year. It's so deep this year. You could go back. So definitely a dope project.
And one thing I want to see more in 2026 is more Southern rappers rapping on these beats. If Two Chains can do it, you know Luda can do it. You know T.I. can do it. Jeezy been
True.
doing it. But the Young Thugs, the Gunners, the Boosies, the
We'll see
NBA
about
Young
that.
Boys. Now, I have heard NBA Young Boy on a couple sample beats.
Mhm.
Still, yeah. But yeah, that's my number four.
All right.
Number three is probably a lot of people's number one. Clips, Let God Sort Them Out. We ain't gotta say much about that album. Like we
Okay.
hope that album win a Grammy. You don't care about Grammys, but I
Yeah.
hope Virginia gets that Grammy.
You damn right.
Yeah, shout out to VA, Norfolk, Virginia Beach. I live in
You
Chesapeake.
damn right, man.
Number two, maybe I'm biased to this, but my favorite Wu-Tang album this year is Raekwon,
Mm-hmm.
the Emperor's New Clothes. To
Mm-hmm.
me, this is what I thought Ghostface Killer Supreme Clientele 2 was going to be.
That that's a great analogy right there. That's perfect analogy, actually.
Like to me,
Yeah.
this new Raekwon album gives you the same feeling as Shaolin and Wu-Tang. It
Yes.
definitely
I
ain't
love that
Cuban
album too.
Links. Yeah, definitely ain't Cuban Links 1 or 2, but it's way better than Mobilarity. Don't expect that on here.
Oh yeah.
Like Bear Hill, even though it was a AI video, that beat
Yeah.
hit. The song with Inspector Deck and Carlton Fisk, and we ain't heard from Carlton Fisk in a long time. It's probably on the Method Man album.
Yeah.
One Life produced by Justice League.
Uh,
It's nice to hear Justice League give you those Rick Ross type of beats to like better rappers. No disrespect,
true.
Ross, you still dope, but Raekwon would have bodied a lot of these Rick Ross beats, and this album shows me that. Um, One of my favorite songs this year, and I don't even know who produced this. Open Doors.
That's one of my yeah, that's fire, dog.
Like
That's
Open
fire.
Doors is a new age Wu-Tang beat.
Yeah.
Like I want that beat. Like
Wait,
that's
was
the
that
type
the
of beat I
one?
would make right now.
That wasn't the one with Method Man and Ghostface,
No,
was
no,
it?
no. You're thinking about the Swiss Beat song 600
Yeah, yeah,
Smooth.
yeah. I just
One
want
of
to
the
make
best songs
sure.
this year to me. Like, who would expect Wu Tang on a Swiss beat? That
Yeah,
sounds like Wu Tang.
yeah,
Wu Tang got Swiss beats sounding like Wu Tang.
yeah. Open Doors was fire. Open Doors
Yeah,
was
Open
fire. Yeah,
Doors
you're
is a
right about
hard
that.
beat.
Yeah,
What was another song on there? The
600
Heavies.
School. I was thinking of
Of
that
course,
might be the hardest joint on there.
of course, you probably got the best song the majority of the people. The Omera with Nas. Whether
Oh,
you like
Murta,
the
yeah.
unreleased, or yeah, Murder with Nas. Whether you like the
There's no
unreleased
question
version
about
or
that.
the album version.
There's no question about that one.
But the last song, Mac and Lobster featuring Ghostface Killer, like, yeah, that's the type of ghost I wanted to see on Supreme Clientele too, which you did
Yeah,
see it a little bit, but yeah, this is my favorite Wu Tang album this year. And shout out to Master Killer. I think you put out an album called Balance. I did hear it earlier this year. It
yeah.
was cool. It wasn't on Supreme Clientele 2 level, but yeah, Raekwon the Emperor's New Clothes. I was thinking about buying this album. I got a feeling Raekwon's next album. I think Raekwon about to be on the street because, like, let's not forget Wu Tang is still here. Wu Tang is still
We'll
here,
definitely see. We'll definitely see. He definitely got off. It's a start of something. And I'd love to see another Seven Legends series. If he does another one, I'm here
and
for it.
speaking
No
of
doubt.
that, yeah, speaking of that Legend series, my favorite album this year. You gonna laugh. The M, the O, the B, the P, the D, the E, the P.
Infinite.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep playing
Absolutely.
that song. I know you say you don't like that song, but I'm gonna keep playing that song.
Infinite, man.
And I actually saw Havoc, Big Noid, and Raekwon perform in Charlotte at the Fillmore here last month. Now, the Big Noid features, like, he hasn't lost his stuff. I wish I could have heard more Big Noid on this album, but I was fine regardless because
Yeah.
Alchemist on Gunfire, he gave you the old Mob Deep, but it's like, okay, like, this ain't the Alchemist that you're hearing on these other albums this year. Like, this is Mob Deep Alchemist.
No doubt, man.
Against the World, of course, Havoc made that beat one of the best beats. Actually, my second favorite beat this year, Taj Mahal. I told you about that joint. That Alchemist did that beat. Of course, you got the two versions of Down for You and Love the Way. Then you have like the basic Havoc discontinued. Like, of course, Pour the Henny with Nas on it. And Clear Black Nights was actually not your typical Havoc beat that had Ghostface Killer and
There
Raekwon
you
when the
go.
beat
Yeah.
switched when Wu Tang started rapping. But
True.
yeah, easy, bro. This is my favorite album this year. Like, I want the instrumental version of this album. Someone's probably already made an instrumental version of this album. Like,
Yeah.
I'm I wish Havoc. We need more Havoc in 2026 produced for other niggas. Like this Havoc, I want to hear more in 2026 with other people rapping, like Method Man. For matter of fact,
Yeah.
have you heard that there was going to be a Method Man Havoc album?
I heard something about that. I heard something about a collab. Yeah, I do remember that. I thought it was more in like 2024. They said something about that though. But yeah, there was a collaboration with Havoc and somebody that was
Yeah,
coming.
but I definitely want to hear more Havoc in 2025. Rest in peace, Prodigy. You showed start. Thank you for showing these haters that you still got them bars unreleased, and he got a lot more material because Mobb Deep made a lot of
Oh
recordings
yeah,
still ain't out yet.
they showing
So
up there.
I won't be
Showing up.
surprised if another album come out within the next 2 years or so, or probably
Yeah,
next this year. Who knows? But yeah, man, my top five: Mobb Deep, Raekwon, Clips, Two Chainz, Larry June, and The Alchemist, and Nas and DJ Premier.
bet. Yeah, that's a strong top five, man. Strong top five. Like this is one of those years you can't go wrong, man. You can really go 10 to 15 deep with a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
albums on the same
because
level.
I ain't
So
say Currency, I ain't say Ransom, but I ain't say Chance the Rapper. I did hear
yeah,
that album. That album, though. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm gonna go 5 to 1.
Okay.
My top five. I'm gonna go with a guy that's really been underrated, but in the last couple of years has been really solid, and that's Dave East. I gotta go with Dave East and Karma 4.
Okay.
Um, he is kind of the modern New York sound, but with an old school vibe. I mean, he's coming with stories. He's coming with a real street vibe, a real dope street element. I love the production on here. I love the song with him and Stove God Cooks. Oh my God, you got to hear that joint. That joint gives you that New York feel, man. It definitely does. That song with Stove God Cooks, Bodega Trunks. Definitely check that out. So that's my number 5 album. Who I think Dave East was one of the best artists of 2025. Let's see if he makes my top artist. We'll get to that, but definitely had a strong year with not only that, the Ransom project he had.
Now
Um,
that is my favorite Davies project this year.
yeah.
Davies the Ransom.
So he definitely did his thing this year and was really active in 2025. Then number 4, I'm gonna get to Raekwon and Emperor's New Clothes. You mentioned that was your number 2 pick. Um, that's the best Raekwon project I've had in years. Who slowly has a very underrated catalog. People don't really give him credit for his catalog, but
Hmm.
some of his albums from the mid 2010s,
The Wild.
um, yeah, the Wild, late 2000s to mid 2010s were pretty good, and this was a really strong comeback. Part of the Nas Seven Legends series.
Yeah.
You mentioned a lot of the songs on there. Of course, Omerta is my joint. That might be arguably my song of the year. You know, it's definitely top 5 song of the year.
Produced by Knots, by the way.
Yeah. With some other songs that I will get to on one of my albums as far as the best songs of the years coming up. So my number 3 album, Mobb Deep Infinite, another one of the Nas Seven Legends series. You mentioned a lot of the songs on there. I love that comeback album. I love the old. This was vintage Mobb Deep, circa 1998, circa 2002. If you never heard Mobb Deep before and you heard this album, you definitely would be intrigued to hear more of their catalog. So I definitely think that's my number 3 album. Number 2, of course, I got to go with Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist Alfredo 2.
All right.
It just has a dark, eerie vibe. It makes you feel like you're in a movie, which they actually do a short film for this. Those movie type albums I love, man. Like, and from Skinny Suge 2 to 1995 to I think what was the one song he had? I actually like the song with Larry June too. I actually like that song. That's just a dope, like real boss aura vibe to it. You know what I mean? The song with Anderson Paak too. You know what I mean? Um,
Empanadas.
Empanadas, yeah, that's my joint. You know what I mean? So I definitely like that. And Alchemist and him brought it, even though it's not as good as Alfredo 1. I will agree with that. And of course, my number one project of the year, Clips Let God Sort Them Out, which in my opinion may be the best album of the 2020 so far. I'd have to go with that. Alfredo 1 is up there. Nas, King's Disease 3, King's Disease 2 are in the conversation. GNX would be in that conversation. But this to me is a certified classic. This album was a movement changer right here. Like, people did not, first of all, the Clips reinvented themselves with a more darker, grittier boom bap style. Not the same type of Pharrell Neptune style we knew of them back in the 2000s, you know. So they reinvented themselves and they came with the hardest bars that just hit on every single joint on there. From what was the joint? There's so many joints you could choose from on this one, man. Like,
So be it. It's safe to say, so be it is the beat of the year.
so be it. Ace Trumpets. I mean, uh, Mike Tyson Blow to the Face might be the hardest song of the year, man.
Yeah, I said that sound like a beat RZA would make.
And Chains and Whips. I mean, with the Kendrick Lamar feature. I mean, you could just go on for days. This to me is a certified classic, easily. So, with me, number 5, Dave East Karma 4. Number 4, Raekwon, Emperor's New Clothes. Number 3, Mobb Deep Infinite. Number 2, Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist, Alfredo 2. And number 1, the go away winner is Clips Let God Sort Them Out. That's what I got.
Shout out to Currency. I want to hear more Currency in 2026. You don't put out 5, 6 EPs.
Yeah.
You always gonna have the beat selection, but his best project probably was the one that came out earlier this year that Harry Fraud produced. I forgot the name of that project, but I want to keep hearing more Currency in 2026. I want to keep hearing more Ransom in 2026
Okay.
because I did hear that Conductor Williams Ransom project. I actually like that project just as much as the DJ Premier project. Now, to me, his best project,
Oh,
in
so
my
what
opinion,
are
may
we
be the one
talking
with
20?
Jade East.
Are we talking 2026 albums, or are we gonna get to the top artists first?
Oh, I'm still talking 2025. And actually, that's a
Okay.
good leeway because Ransom is my number 3 rapper this year. It was
Okay.
between him and Shay Noir.
Okay.
As like to me, like they're the best well, I wouldn't say New York, but I say from the tri-state right now, those are the best rappers.
No
They
doubt.
not they may not put out the best music, but they're definitely the best rappers, male and female. Ransom and Shay Noir. Of course, 38 Special could come back and crush both of them in 2026. You never know. Of course, Malice is the MVP. Realistically, in 2025, Malice is the MVP because everybody knew Pusha was going to come in, but this is like the best Malice.
Yeah. So since you started with your albums, I'm gonna start with my artists for this year, the top artists.
Yeah, because so far I
Um,
mentioned 2. I got Ransom and Malice, so I know you're
I'm
going to
gonna
say
go
one of
with
them.
I'm gonna go with my number 3 artist is Ransom, which I think is pound for pound the best lyricist in the game right now. I think he right now, I think I mean he's just killing it on every level when it comes to lyrics. You know what I mean? So I really think as I hold on a minute, let me do a little bit of add some artwork to this. All right. So Ransom to me, and he's gone really underrated. He's been a really underrated artist in the 2010s. So now he's finally getting his due with the volume of projects he's coming out with. And the project he put out with Conductor Williams, the DJ Premier project, and the collab album with Dave East definitely
Yeah,
showcased how
that one
strong
was
he
hard.
is as a street lyricist. So he is my number 3 artist as one of the best artists of 2025.
So we agree with that.
So definitely we're gonna go to that. Now, my next artist, even though he didn't make um even though he didn't make my list as far as the top 5 albums is concerned, you know, I'm going to have to give Nas his due and give Nas his credit because, man, did he kill it on every level, as far as the Seven Legends series, as far as Mass Appeal is concerned, with really at least 5 strong projects out of the 7. You know what I mean? An anticipated album with DJ Premier that, despite the disputes on it online, still still performed. People still came out to see this, and Nas still killed it on there. I mean, he owned that album lyrically. Not to mention all the features that Nas was on this year, from Omerta we mentioned, um, the song on De La Soul's album. Not to mention he was on the Clips "Let's God Sort 'Em Out" as well and killed it on there. So Nas, I gotta give my hats off to Nas as my number 2 artist for this year. And I would say definitely, as far as
Number one.
my number 1 artist this year, even though it's a group, you know what I mean, got to be Cliff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I gotta go with that as far as I could pull up a picture. Yeah. So definitely with them, I definitely had to say they are my top artists of the year because, like I said, like they had to reinvent themselves. You know, they came back, they took a year. I mean, I don't know, what is it, 15 years? 2009 was their last album together. Pusha T went on to have a very stellar solo career with good music, where he put out a classic, maybe a couple classic albums, and separated himself as being one of the 50 greatest MCs of all time. And he to come right back with Malice, where you could even argue Malice got better as a lyricist with his hiatus from hip hop or from secular hip hop, because before he was doing gospel rap or what have you. This was one of the most impressive comebacks I've ever seen in the hip hop game, to put out a classic album, and in my opinion, their best album ever. So, and of course, you mentioned the Grammy nominations, and I'm rooting for them. I think they're going to bring home at least one this year. So definitely, and that's a win for real hip hop. That's a win for the traditional legacy hip hop artists that put their time in and grinded, no pun intended, off of grinding their classic song, but they grinded their whole life to get to this point. So they are my number 1 hip hop artist of the year.
And keep in mind, everybody, Clips got the Neptunes,
That's
like one
right.
of the biggest hip hop producers of the 2000s. So
That's
you would
right.
expect them to blow up more in the 2000s compared to now. But they got Pharrell, the sample,
That's
and
right.
sampling got them a Grammy nomination.
That's true. A
And that
totally
shows you
different
right
sound from
there
Pharrell,
that the
who in my
retro
opinion is
sounds are
producer of
coming
the year,
back.
by the way. I'm not backing off. Pharrell is the best producer of 2025. I don't care what nobody said. The production he did on there was A1. That's all I got to say about that.
Like the retro sounds are coming back.
That's
Like
right.
this is being nominated for a Grammy. And
Absolutely, man.
of course, the year before, Doechii had an album of the year for a mixtape. And you get a lot of people talking about Doechii right now, but let's not. And the funny thing is, guess what sample is being used on Doechii's new song? What happened to that boy? The drums.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right.
So now the Clips,
Even though that song is cool, but I'm not. I don't think it's great. I got to listen to it a couple more times.
nah, that third verse she was spitting.
Yeah,
I fuck with Doechii. Like, yeah, like she went like the first verse, but no, she got better each verse.
and
That third verse,
you might hear her. You might hear Doechii coming up in our next segment, but definitely. So who you got for your top artist?
well, you already said number 3 was Ransom. We agree with that. My
Okay,
number 2 is your number 1, or at least half of it, because I got Malice.
okay,
Number 1, hands down, Nas.
okay.
Like, I've said this ever since Nas won the Grammy. Like, bruh, this is far from over. This is far from over. And they have a kid saying that Jim Jones, who actually did not put out a bad album, but he did.
Yeah,
This is the first Jim Jones album, not mixtape, but album in a while where I heard whack songs. Because I'm not a fan. I was a real fan of Jim Jones like that until the Wasted Talent and El Paco era of Jim Jones. Like, to me, that's a better version of Jim Jones than Dipset Jim Jones.
I
But
agree.
like
I
here,
do agree.
he tried to get with the new sound, and it's like, yeah, hearing
Oh, we
Jim
all
Jones
know
on
he. In the end of the
drill
day,
beat does not sound right at all. But when he
he
gets
was
to his El Capo Wasted Talent style, the
Jim
song
Jones.
hit.
Jim Jones was doing the whole Nas thing
But he
to
can't be
get
Nas.
juice for his podcast.
Yeah.
Let's put it
And
out.
see, keep in mind the same podcast that your man Dave East is in.
Exactly. So we see what that was. And when he said, "Oh, I gotta go viral," he was stressing how viral he was. We see what that was now.
And guess
So
who was the most viral out of all of them? Fabulous. How? Rapping.
that's right. That's right.
Like, everybody want to get these viral moments for everything that has nothing to do with rap. Yet the most viral moment on that podcast is Fabulous. He
We can
had a
have a
couple
whole other
jokes, but
show
clearly the verse is.
about
Well,
the
not,
clout chasing agenda today, but that's a whole other topic for another day.
yeah, for sure. But nah, Nas is number 1 to me.
Can
Because,
I
like,
ask you a question? Why do you have Malice in there as your top artist and not Clips as a duo?
because Pusha did what he always did.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't say this is the best Pusha,
Uh-huh.
but Pusha ain't lost a step. He's just spitting like he always been spitting. Like, he's on that Jadakiss level right now. Let's not
Yeah.
act like he out rapped Jadakiss on a Swiss Beats song like 2 years before
Yeah.
that. Like, no, like, Pusha done stepped up, but we're not gonna act like Malice can. And another reason why Malice is the MVP, them gospel rap albums were not that good. He had a couple of those
Okay.
joints. I listened to them like
I
earlier
hear
this
you.
year. Like, he had some joints, but if you hear the rapping when he's not cussing compared to the Malice right now, no, like, Pusha definitely
I
helped
think
him
Malice
that pen.
out
But keep in
rapped him.
mind,
I think between him and Ransom, they were the best lyricists this year. But I gotta give, I can't ignore some of the bars with Pusha had on that album. Pusha
you know,
made his presence felt.
hey, yo,
So
check
I
this
gotta
out.
give credit to the both of them as artists of the year. That's
And
just
I
me.
can understand that because some people compare Clips to Outkast. I actually compare Clips to a Tribe Called Quest because, one, Outkast wasn't always organized noise.
Yeah.
Clips is always Neptunes. A Tribe Called Quest is always Uma with a little bit of other
I,
producers every once in a while, but it's always Uma, whether it's
I
Dilla,
think
Ali
another
Shahi Muhammad, or Q-Tip.
I think another legendary group is more akin to who they are, and that's Mobb Deep, which we
You can say
talked
that
about
too.
in this list. I think they are the Mobb Deep of the South, definitely.
But another reason why I would compare them more to Tribe Called Quest, even though it's not the type of music they make,
Yeah.
Q-Tip is obviously the more popular rapper than Fife, but Fife is clearly the better rapper.
Yeah.
This is how I see Malice and Pusha T. You're going to see Pusha T everywhere. We Are the Meats is RB slogan that he wrote, but Malice is the better rapper.
Side note, I had this debate with a guy that used to be in our group. His name's Drew, my homie Drew. He actually did a pod with him not too long ago, and he has this debate with me about Pusha T being better than Jadakiss, and I'm actually trying to get him back because I'm ready to revisit that debate online, Pusha T versus Jadakiss. That's a very compelling debate.
If you want
Um,
to talk sound, if you want to talk song making, I can understand that. But Jada can rap on any beat. Pusha can't really rap on any beat.
I don't know about that because he could
You
do the
know what? I
trap
take that
thing.
back. I take that back. I take that back. Dang, you got a point because I did not like Jada on a drill beat, but at the same time, I have heard Pusha verses that I skip. I never
Pusha
heard
on
a
drill.
Jada verse that I
Pusha can
skip.
do drill. Pusha they're pretty similar, man. I don't know, but that's definitely a debate for another day. All right, so who disappointed you the most this year in 2025?
2 words. I'll let you
one,
guess those 2 words.
one man, 2 words.
No, 2 words as in a group, a label and a staff. Cash money.
Oh, okay.
Clearly the most disappointing. You get washed by No Limit, which to me isn't really a surprise, but a
Mhm.
lot of people see Cash Money as one of the most successful labels ever, even
Yeah,
over No Limit and Bad Boy and Death Row because they're still existing right now with NBA YoungBoy
yeah,
with his Birdman. But let's not act like the we are watching the fall off of Young Money. We are
yeah.
clearly watching the fall from Young Money from Nicki. How this whole protest all of a sudden about Nicki. Now you want to turn against Nicki because of something she said, not because the music isn't good. Even though I'm not a fan of the music anyway, it took an opinion for people to say Nicki Minaj make whack music. To me, that's fake shit. Either you wasn't really a fan of hers, or you were just riding a wave, or you just the type of person that really can't separate the music from the talent. I can separate the two. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a Nicki Minaj fan, but I will always watch Nicki Minaj videos just off of how she looks. I don't care what opinion she says.
Yeah,
As
I've
far as
seen better.
Wayne, clearly Wayne dropped the most disappointing album of the year.
Oh yeah. Um, yeah, I gotta follow up off of your Cash Money, Young Money theme because as disappointing they got beat in that versus, which I didn't think they got beat too bad, but I think No Limit kind of surprised people with that.
And they
I
should be
got to
lucky.
go.
And keep in mind, Cash Money should be lucky Hootie Who wasn't played.
Yeah, he did. They did leave joints out. They did
Yeah,
leave joints
so
out of
keep
that.
that in mind. But go ahead.
But Little Wayne, man, Little Wayne, and really, in the end of the day, now that you bring up the verses with No Limit, he really disappointed in two more ways than one because he disappointed in not showing up for that verses, which you could say there were politics behind the scenes, but it's like, bro, you owe it to the fans. You know what I mean?
And
You
you did show
disappointed.
up, and he did show up for 3 6 Mafia versus Bone. Keep that in mind.
That's true. You're disappointed with the Carter Six, who has to be it. That has to be the worst anticipated album of all time, even more than Eminem Revival, in my opinion, because that just
Dang,
let.
you put Revival
Oh
over
yeah,
Carter 6.
it's on that level. It's that bad, man. Like it's just. And the third part about it was you indirectly injected yourself in a competition, battle competition, what you want to say it was with Kendrick Lamar. Once you came out about that Super Bowl the Super Bowl performance and begging to get that Super Bowl and all the support that everybody had for you and all of that, and then that little indirect shot on GNX for you, and then coming out on Instagram saying you don't want to wake up the beast and all that other stuff, bro, you're supposed to deliver. You're supposed to bring it now. You're supposed to raise your level because you're the GOAT now. You're GOAT status, GOAT level. And in my opinion, you let Kendrick Lamar take all your smoke. You could have used all of that energy you had about not making the Super Bowl and put out a classic album that we haven't heard from years from Wayne, and you put out a dud, dude.
And one
So
thing
it's
I
really
also gotta
three
say,
ways you disappointed that Wayne disappointed this year
mhm,
in 2025.
yeah, and one thing I want to say, speaking of Wayne, you let a hook out rap you.
Mm-hmm.
And the messed up part is That
Yeah,
hook
you're
by
right.
Big X the Plug is better than Big X the Plug country music album.
I
Big
said
X
that
the
in the
Plug.
review.
I
Yeah, I
understand
said
you
that
from
when I
Texas.
reviewed that album. Now that I think
No,
about it,
real
yeah.
shit though. Big X the Plug. I understand you're from Texas. Take Care is a hard ass down south album. Like, in this era of like TikTok music being so short, Take Care is a hard ass down south album. Big X the Plug's country music album is worse than the Carter Six.
Oh my God, that's so bad. And he got out rapped by his features on there. Like that's what I can't get. The features smoked you on your own. joint.
And another thing is another reason why I
Yeah.
mentioned Young Money. Your son makes worse music than Kanye West's daughter.
Oh man. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Walk away, man. Oh, yeah, Lil Wayne, you need to retire, bro.
She
Or
made
just
an off. She
no,
made
no,
an
no. I
offbeat
should say
on
that. Just stick
purpose.
to the feature verses. Stick to the feature verses because they are fire. Outside of that, nah, the album thing ain't happening, bro. So all
And
right.
he
So,
redid Band from TV too. Nah,
oh
bro.
God.
I'm not even a big fan of Band from TV outside of the verses. I like the bars of Band from TV. I never was a fan of the Band from TV beat. But I find it so interesting that you did special delivery when you did a song with J. Cole decades ago. But then on the Carter 5, you redid the special delivery beat. Now you
Crazy.
want to remake another Swiss beat and make it worse? Like, nah, bro.
That had to be the softest version of Banned from TV because Banned from TV, one of the hardest beats ever.
He said one of the softest versions of Band
And
from
and
TV.
he just came with this. I mean, it was like a watered down, like kind of elevator music version of it. I don't know how to describe it. Like it was like a stripped down version of the real Band from TV. Like I don't know, I don't get it, man.
And Lil Wayne's the most influential rapper still in this era because now you got the trap era not making their best music. 21 Savage album was okay, but nowhere near the last album. Lil Baby Wham, my ex loved Lil Baby. She hates that album. So
Oh,
that
that
and
was
that's crazy.
disappointing. Yeah,
Some
that
people
that
found like Young Thug's album kind of weird with the album cover and hoping the music will make up for it. But I didn't hear a lot of positive reviews about
this
that. It's
was
like Gunna. Like
yeah,
Gunna is really the best like rapper of that type of
if
style
you're
right now.
if you're doing
Outside
this
of G
era,
Herbo, if we want to talk about Chicago drill.
if you're
Shout out to
doing
G
this,
Herbo. You
if
did
you're
put out a
doing
dope
this
song this
this
year.
era's Atlanta trap, this is not a good year for you. This is not a good year for Atlanta trap at
So
all.
yeah, let's clarify Atlanta trap because I did mention a couple of drill rappers
From
in Chicago.
21
But
to
yeah,
Lil
let's stick to
Baby to Young Thug,
Atlanta
nah, it
trap.
wasn't a good year for you. So
Didn't Jeezy put out something this year? Or was that last year?
yeah, you
I
know what? I
mean,
didn't even listen to
last
that
year,
yet. And
2024 is
and
what
I'm
I
a
would say.
Jeezy fan, so I gotta get that. I gotta get to that.
But was that
And I'm a
24
Jeezy.
or 25?
25. You put one out this year.
Okay, he
Oh, this
did.
year
Okay.
past. Yeah. So all right, so let's get to it. Last
No,
question.
no. One more name we got to mention. We talking about Cash Money. What name
Yeah.
we didn't name? The dude that used to be on Cash Money, which we're still going to claim he's Cash Money, Young Money. Who do you think? Drake.
Oh, Drake.
Drake. Niggas are losing
Um,
friendships over Drake. That's crazy. Niggas is saying we want Drake to come back in a year that he dropped an R&B album and
let's
a lot
hold
of
on. You know what? Let me hold
and
off on Drake for now. Hold that thought. We'll get back to the Drake conversation because he kind of deserves his own. He deserves his own kind of segment that we're going to talk about in a little bit. So let me get most disappointing out of here. Let's get to who will shine in 2026, man. Who do you got? Who do you looking forward to hearing in 2026?
I want to hear JID on more type of beats that Two Chains was rapping on Alchemist beats. I want to see more of that in 2026. There
All
was a
right.
rumor this year that last year Two Chains was going to do an album with Static Selector. And I kind of
Okay.
like how Currency is still doing his thing because I think he may be slowly influencing others to go towards that direction. JID is nominated. JID did put out a cool album. It ain't his best album because it's nowhere near the first two, but hey, it's nominated for a Grammy and it's not a whack album. So, and I like how he got Pastor Choi rapping on a different type of beat. So,
Okay.
yeah, JID. Yeah, matter of fact, didn't JID put out a song with Eminem last year?
Put
Man,
out an Eminem
he went toe to
song.
toe with him.
Yeah, you got Eminem on his current album, I think.
Oh, I thought it was a okay. It wasn't on the original, so it must have been a deluxe or a bonus track.
Oh no. Yeah, he did a on the prequel to the Jid album. Yeah, he did a
Oh,
joint
you're
with
right.
Eminem.
He
Yeah, it's
sure
pretty
did
good.
do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing them again, man. Jid did his thing in 2025, so 2026 we'll definitely look forward to him. Me, I'm gonna I'm actually gonna pull up do some visual artistry for this.
Okay.
But this guy, which he kind of in 2024 went out kind of weak, you know what I mean, after the whole controversy with him bowing out of dissing Kendrick Lamar on Mike Delete Later. But this guy right here, J. Cole, I think is a very interesting figure in hip hop, man. I really think that, and they're actually mentioning that he's going to actually drop tonight if all things go right. That J. Cole is going to drop Fall Off, but he's a very interesting character, and I'm really want to hear what he got to say coming out of this, because it's a couple of reasons. The Fall Off, before the battle with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, was looked at as one of the most anticipated albums um, of the 2020s. Many would say people were looking for J. Cole more than they were looking for Kendrick or Drake. Definitely at the first person shooter and all of that. And even Mike Delete Later was a strong project. People forget. 7 Minute Drill kind of took away
It definitely took away
the
from.
attention from that album, but that was a strong project. And leading up to that, his features were white hot on everything he touched. I'm interested to hear what he got to say. And on top of that, there is a strong faction of people out there that are tired of Kendrick Lamar and Drake. They want that third party candidate out there to represent and put out good hip hop. So I'm really anticipating to hear what he got to say on Fall Off. People are saying, oh, well, he shouldn't be doing any diss records and all that. But I do want to hear what he has to say about the whole situation. You know what I mean? Now, he did a lot of passive aggressive stuff with Drake and Kendrick Lamar. I think with the Porter Antonio song and all of that. But the man still can rap. The man still has skills. The man is still at the top of the game. You know what I mean? So I'm interested to hear what he's got to say. And I'll say secondly, um, I'm kind of interested to see what the next move for Kendrick Lamar would be, you know. And that's gonna get to who I'm gonna ask you about next. But I want to see what Kendrick Lamar next move is gonna be. Is he gonna put out a deluxe GNX? Is he coming with a totally new album? There was rumors of a snippet that came out online of a new song. I want to see what his next move is going to be next. Is he really going to carry on the momentum from the battle in GNX and really be the number one guy in this industry now that he took the crown from Drake? So those are the two artists I'm paying attention to the most in 2026. Who you got?
Um, I'm curious about how ASAP Rocky next album is
That's
going
an
to come out.
interesting pick, man.
You
That's an
got three
interesting
kids from
pick.
Rihanna.
Yeah.
You better put out, and you name one of your kids RZA. You better put out your best album
I got a
ever.
question for you though. I got a question. He said he's doing a part rock, part hip hop, part trap, part R&B album. Now I'm gonna put it to you like this. I'm not an
But
ASAP
is he
Rocky.
really going to do that? Because he's been pushing this album back for a while. That's number
That's
one.
what he's
Number
saying.
two, 21 Savage said the exact same thing, but instead he chose to say fuck the streets. So his album sounded nothing like that.
Listen,
Like, to me, this has to be ASAP Rocky's, like, even if you want to go that experimental route and you do want to be on some, hey, I'm going to do something that Most Def couldn't do, a classic rock half rap album. If you can do that,
he's
I hope the Rihanna, you know,
listen.
sense
He's
got you
going.
making that type of
He
classic music.
he's going the Andre 3000 route. Okay, this is either going to tank like a brick or it's going to take off. I'm
Now,
actually,
see,
you know what? He's my
if
number
he
three. I'm
does go
interested
the
to see
Andre
what he's going to
3000
do.
route, yeah, if he goes the Andre route, it will tank. Because this is my thing. In this
Yeah.
era, Kendrick Lamar is probably the biggest rap artist right now. You
Mm-hmm.
can't duplicate his style. He's influenced by Andre 3000. You really can't duplicate Andre like that, even though you may hear a little bit of influence of Andre and Kendrick. Kendrick is still his own man. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? They just, I mean, Outcasts. Your name says it all. You're that group that doesn't sound like everybody else in Atlanta. So if you're gonna try to go that direction, it's gonna fall flat. That's why I'm curious about how ASAP Rocky going to come in with this
I don't
album.
know, man. It's but at this point, you know what? He's got nothing to lose. I mean, he's got money on money. He's married to a billionaire. He's got 3 kids. So what? Just go out and rap. So that's interesting. I do want to hear what he got to say.
Also, the Most Def Alchemist album is finally going to come out this year. It was
Yeah.
premiered last year, but it's definitely coming out this year. I hope the Erykah Badu Alchemist album comes out this year. I think they pushed it back because they probably did not like the reception of remaking the realest beat. I got a feeling
Yeah.
they're pushing it back for that reason. Even though some people told me went to the live show in Charlotte where it was like pretty much what the album was going to be, and people were impressed. But I got a feel it's being pushed back because that remake of the realist didn't get the type of reception I thought they thought they were going to get.
I hear
So I
you.
got a feeling we're probably going to hear a better Alchemist. Because look, don't get it twisted. Alchemist ain't going nowhere. Alchemist talking about he want to do something with Future.
Well, he's the best producer in the game right now. So
So yeah, don't be
you're gonna
surprised when
hear
we hear that
more and more
Erica
of that.
Alchemist.
So all right,
Also,
so
there's a rapper from the West Coast, and I don't got my
yeah.
phone on me, but to me, he's up and coming. I need to find out what his name is before I get off because
Oh, you
he's
talking about Ray Vaughn?
no.
Yeah.
He got that hyphy type of style. He's from the Bay. I keep forgetting his name. He had an album called Black Boy Fly, and it wasn't that bad. Like
Yeah.
you can tell he's getting better. He puts out a lot of projects like Ransom and Currency does, but yeah, I'm trying to remember that dude's name. But you keep going, bro.
Yeah. You said the album was Black Boy Fly?
It was Black Boy something. I'm trying to figure out what his name
What's his
is.
name? Was his name La Russell?
Him, La
Okay.
Russell. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
La Russell was hit or miss when I first heard him, but then I'm starting to hear consistent dopeness from him. I think he finally
Right.
finding his own style. Like, yeah, man, I want to
I
hear.
gotta check him out because I gotta check his style out.
Yeah, like he's a fun. He's gonna give you like he's like a funner version of Too Short. Like he's not gonna talk as crazy as Short, but the delivery because it's so simple, it's catchy at the same time.
I
You
gotta
know what
check
I'm
that out.
saying? So yeah,
I gotta see what that's about. All right. So lastly, you brought him up.
yeah,
So
Cash
what
Money.
about Drake? What are we gonna do, man? I'm hearing rumors Iceman is gonna drop tonight. What do we do with this guy?
I'm
What?
gonna say this once, and I'm gonna say this once only. I've
Yeah.
been saying this ever since Not Like Us came out. Until I hear Drake on a DJ Premier beat, even with the DJ Premier that's out right now, until I hear Drake on a DJ Premier beat, I don't want to hear no more Drake Kendrick Lamar comparisons. That's
Okay.
the only way he can come back and say, okay, Kendrick, you got to reply. That's really the only way. Other than that, take your L, put out a dope album.
Actually, you know, he did do work with DJ Premier, right?
Yeah,
Of
he did
course.
Sandra's Rose. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
he did that song. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to hear more of that.
Um. I
But
don't know what to do with this guy, man.
we're not
Seriously.
acting like he put out an album this year.
Well, here's the whole thing.
I mean,
Like
last year. I'm still thinking 2025 for the
people,
worst year.
people are coming up with the narratives. He's blackballed and all this. How is he blackballed and he put out 50 songs?
And y'all claim Nokia is the
He put
biggest
out
song of the
50
year.
songs. Listen, he put out 50 songs and a whole album rollout for an album that didn't drop, but he's blackballed. I mean, people really got to do the math on that.
Yeah, because think of how people are saying this is Drake's most successful year in streaming, but he's blackballed.
Yeah, I mean, which he streams mostly off his old stuff anyway.
And now you're facing a lawsuit for the same thing you tried to sue UMG for with Kendrick.
Yeah,
we predicted this, bruh.
Just like now he's got the body coming his way, which everybody knew about. Everybody knew about that. You know what I mean?
2025 was predictable. It wasn't a lot of unpredictable moments. It was pretty predictable because it was a continuation of 2024.
He's the king of fuckboy moments. He just is. He just digs himself in the hole. But what I will say about Drake, I'm not going to go to DJ Premier route, but if he comes back with a more emo type album where he raps and comes with a more conventional style, I think people will pay attention to it. You know what I mean? Where he actually talks about, you know, where he's going in the last year. Like, how did the battle affect him? You know, be more introspective, be more of a storyteller. I mean, the whole, you know, bop rap and rapping to appeal to TikTok listeners and streamers and the under 25, it's not your vibe no more, dog. It's just not. You're 40 years old. You're starting to look like the old guy trying to fit in with the college kids, bro. Give it up. You know what I mean? So go back and actually grow as an artist, man. You know what? I don't think like the battle was really the beginning of the downfall of this dude artistically, right? I think the downfall really started when Joe Budden called him out on All for the Dogs and said, "You're not growing as an artist, man. Like, this album is trash. You got to stop making music for teeny boppers and make real music." And of course, Drake went off on Joe, called him a failed rapper and did all this other shit. You know what I mean? But Joe's right. Grow as an artist. Give us something different. Reinvent yourself. That's what makes GOATs GOATs. Nas did it. Jay-Z did it. Lil Wayne did it. Eminem had to reinvent himself. All the GOATs did it. I want to see Drake reinvent himself as a real rapper this time. Come back, go back to more of a traditional sound, and let's see what you got.
And technically, that's what DJ Premier is doing right now. He is reinventing himself. Like, there's a reason why that album is called Light Years. Going back to Drake, Maurice brought a good point. Like, a lot of people really likes his old music. They're going to keep playing his old music just to let people know, oh, no, Drake hasn't gone anywhere. Hey, that's fine. Yo, with the streaming, this is why I said, like, the streaming era, I'm not really a big fan of because, one, I bootleg anyway. So I don't rate rappers by how many streams you got. To me, that's worse than Billboard.
Well, the whole
because if we gonna talk like that, we might as well talk about female rappers. Then
the streaming game is rigged anyway. I mean, it's not real albums people are buying. So
exactly, it's real albums people are listening to, not even liking. Think about it. The streaming era ain't even about liking music. It's about listening to music. You can say the song is trash, but if you listen to it, you're still giving them a listen. You know what I'm saying? Compared to, I'm not buying that CD.
It's crazy, man.
Or I'm not downloading that on Bandcamp.
Drake needs to go back to the drawing board. If Iceman drops tonight or in 2 months or what, hey, I'll listen to it. But bro, listen, the old shit ain't working. You got to go back to the drawing board.
Unless we hear an all rap album, Iceman is just going to be another For All the Dogs, another Honestly Nevermind.
Well, that's going to be
Certified Lover Boy, and those Drake fans like that.
It's going to be
the Atlanta trap fans.
It's going to be, but you know, it's going to be typical. It probably do like 180, 200 in a week, the first week or whatever, and it's #1 on streaming platforms. But we all know what that's going to be about. You know, that's going to be about the Drake stands and, the whole the teeny bopper wave, and these Drake fanatics, which I've never seen a stand base like this, dude. Like they're really going hard on social media campaigns for this man, that I've never seen before. From streamers like Aiden Ross to academics. I could go on with that. But
even people online, it's like now we got people saying, I never was a Drake fan. I was just talking about y'all when it come to Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole or Freddie Gibbs. Y'all try to say he's better than Drake. Technically, I still see you being pro Drake, even if you're not calling yourself a Drake fan. It's almost like when I was calling you a Kendrick stan, because I know you
yeah,
talk about Kendrick a lot, but you gave your reason why you're not a Kendrick stan. Do I
yeah,
agree with it? No, but shoot, agree to disagree. That's why I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm
yeah. But I
saying? But it's
mean,
to the point that
their
people are
whole
really getting emotional over Drake to the point to where they'll get emotional over other artists that have nothing to do with this, aka i.e. Aiden Ross about Doechii. You dissing her over her cussing out people changing umbrellas and you call them 9 to 5 workers. The fact you call them 9 to 5 workers is stereotypical right there. And then you go to tell Glasses Malone you should be talking to your baby, you should be handling your baby mama when the dude got no kids. So you already messed up off that alone.
that whole situation deserves its own podcast. I mean, I actually is going to link up with Reese and talk about it in
Put
detail.
me on there, bro, because
That
nah, bro.
that
This shows you right here how it's like now I see why a lot of people don't like Eminem.
we need to. You know what it is, and I put it to you like this: Eminem fans ain't as bad as Drake fans.
They're not as bad, but I'm not necessarily talking about the Drake fans.
But
I'm more talking about what some people would consider guests in hip hop. To
we,
me, I
we,
kind of agree with that to a
yeah,
certain extent, even though you're going to have visitors that are better than a lot of the guests,
we got to
i.e.,
talk
you.
about we got to talk about like social media narratives and how the social media narrative culture is affecting the music, because Doechii didn't deserve that at all. You know what I mean?
You could have
And
just said the song was
she's just
trash, but he didn't
she's
even
just
go
out
there. He
here
was
trying to
talking
make her
crazy.
music, and to come with this industry plant stuff, which I don't even know what a real industry plant is, because you haven't proved there's one industry plant out there. You know what I mean?
Sexy Red.
Well, they're one hit wonders. You
No,
know what
she
I mean? If
calls.
you want to
I mean,
call them
she
one
even
hit
called
wonder,
herself an industry plant. But people are calling Doechii an industry plant because they never heard her rap like that. Forgetting she put out
and
"What
she's
It
been in the
Is"
game
with
for, but
Kodak
she's
Black.
been,
That was a hit.
but the thing about it is, she's been in the game for damn near 10 years before she
That's
blew.
why I said "What It Is" with
So, I
Kodak
mean,
Black. That was a hit. She was
that
just
just
singing.
goes to show how uneducated that dude Aiden Ross is, and doesn't understand the music game at all. You know what I mean? He's just a shit talker, a rich kid shit talker out there. But
And it
anyway,
also proved that people are not doing their research either. You're not even researching the music that's out now because you're so focused about
well, that
streams and
generation,
Billboard.
doesn't listen, man. They don't listen to hip hop. They just become fan clubs. They This is how bad that era, or that type of fan is. The under 25, the under 30 hip hop fan now. They become fans of these guys and don't even listen to their catalog. They listen to
Mhm.
maybe 5 songs and just go along with the sheet that everybody else go along with online to say, "Oh, he's the greatest of all time." That's what people do.
Mm.
And these media online narrative pushers, the academics and the Aiden Rosses of the world, they're just an extension of that. Because they don't really listen to the whole scope of hip hop. You know what I mean? For example, I mean, DJ Academics, he has his beef with Freddie Gibbs, but he'll never give him credit for how great his music is.
But I
Just
bet you the one
because,
thing: if Conway or Benny the Butcher did the exact same thing Freddie did, academics wouldn't be saying nothing about them.
yeah,
You just get
exactly.
at him because he's an underground hip hop artist that
Mhm.
some people see you got a backpack style. And that label, you know what I mean? I know a lot of people don't like. So yeah.
So it's
Like
crazy, but it's crazy, man. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Finally, our best of 2025. Definitely check this show out. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews. We will be coming up with new content. Next week, we're going to come back. We're going to try and get Reese on and probably a couple other people on a new panel for this year. A lot of exciting topics coming up. A lot of exciting music to come out. I don't know. Maybe tonight, maybe we see Iceman. Might we see Fall Off? I don't know. That's probably 3 shows in itself. So anyway, Ansem, thanks for joining me. Go ahead, plug your channel.
Well, first off, everybody go to Facebook groups, search for Hip Hop Roundtable, the review.
Right. That's right.
Please join yourself to that group. We're gonna have a lot of hip hop discussions in that group this year for sure. You know what I'm saying? I know we've had our Drake versus Kendrick period. I'm ready to move on from that. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting to hear the next Common Pete Rock album that might come out this year. Also, join BLG aka Bootleg Gang on Facebook groups and YouTube. Also, shout out to 750. Shout out to Angry Fan Movement. Ain't nothing really been up on battle rap lately, but shout out to Jay Mills. He's dissing Averb now. He got a song out called Go Time. So now Jay Mills is about to get that Averb on the song for song joint, just like how he was battling DNA and Goods. So he's focusing more on making songs and battles rather than the acapella battle rap. But he's doing it against the acapella battle rappers. So we'll see if Averb actually says something. Shout out to Mickey Fax as well, who be giving us funny reviews towards those battles. Also, if you're a female, please look up Shay Noir.
Definitely support her. She needs that support, yo, because and we had a vote in our group. Now, Cardi B won Female Artist of the Year, but Shay Noir should have won that, man. That was they were neck and neck voting wise too. You know,
quick question.
She really deserves her respect.
Yeah, quick question. What's your opinion on Playboy Cardi, who supposedly has the mainstream album of the year according to the majority?
I can't even win. His sound ain't sustainable. It's the same. Yeah, he's doing trap, but he's doing this rage hip hop thing, which is another kind of form of trap.
Okay,
I'm not really vibing to it. We'll see, but I don't think he's anything special, in my opinion.
You felt like this Nicki thing came and went. Everybody gonna come back on Nicki when she puts out that one Nicki Minaj type of joint where I can mute the video and just look at her?
Is she gonna put out an album this year, or is she gonna campaign for Trump? What are we doing here?
I just want her to put out a fire video so I can mute it.
What are we doing, Nicki? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, everybody join and like, subscribe, comment to, of course, Hip Hop Roundtable Review in this group and this YouTube channel as well, man.
That's right.
You ought to put some snippets of these clips in the Facebook group as well. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt, man. We'll clip this up and get this out there. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We'll be coming back with some new content for 2026 in Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews. And y'all have a good night. Peace.
All right, man.